you don't want to watch something on Disney, you can most definitely watch something on Hulu, because we're going to talk about 7 Days from Hulu. What was that one about? What does the audience need to know?
Well, it is a story about two Indian American 20-somethings, and they're pushed into an arranged marriage scenario by their plotting mothers. And you know how mothers do it, they create biodatas on, websites. And the mothers had obviously lied in the biodatas about the kids because kids weren't as they presumed in the biodata. So Ravi goes over to California. He flies over to California to meet Rita, and Rita's mom is out of town, so Rita meets Ravi. And they kind of start liking each other, but then there is this notification that a shelter in place, COVID here. So she drives him out, but he misses his train, the last train. So he's stuck with her. And as he's stuck with her, he realizes that, oh, the internet resume is all false. She eats meat, she drinks beer, she's just not the person that he thought she is, and as her mother had put up in her resume is. So they're stuck here in a place in California, in a house in California, the two of them, and they literally have to live together. She's nastily dirty. She literally keeps the things all over the place. He is this mama's boy who has to ask his mother for everything, and he just doesn't want to take chances in life. So that all these very, very different people. And then it's this story of how, they cohabit for the shelter in place time being, and how they kind of get to know each other, and ultimately they fall in love. So I thought it was a really sweet story. Roshan Sethi has directed and written it along with Karan Soni, who actually plays Ravi, and Rita is played by Geraldine Viswanathan, who's actually American Australian,
This
American
movie,
Australian Indian. So between the two of them, there is this nervous energy. Karan Soni plays Ravi so well that you want to literally pick this guy by his collar and give him a couple of slaps for listening to his mother so much.
this
Literally. I mean, he's literally Zoom interviewing women for marriage while he's living with a girl. And oh my God, the scenes is super crazy because, he asks them really Indian questions like, can you cook? Will you be able to sit at home? Oh, he has this idea about marriage, which is totally out of whack. And that's what he's been passed on. And she's completely rebellious. She does stuff around him. She's having an affair with a married man. Literally, he catches those conversations, and oh my God, it is super funny and it's super fun. And I thought it was a fun watch on Hulu.
I thought this was a very similar vibe to Wedding Season that we reviewed a few weeks back. I thought in terms of like the playfulness, right? It was pretty playful. I thought the jokes landed. And did you get a similar vibe as well?
Uh, I thought the jokes landed very well. What did you think of the movie? Because coming from your perspective is different. I'm looking at it from a very Indian American perspective. How are you looking at it?
No, look, so you hit it right on the nail when you're talking about the scene where he was Zoom interviewing candidates for marriage. I thought those were really, really funny. And I know that just from my, small exposures to some Indian culture, some of those like really Indian questions that he was asking about it, I thought landed really well. Overall, I mean, it was funny, and it's like situational comedy that hasn't been done very much yet, especially as we're coming out of the pandemic, with some of this like pandemic induced situational comedy. I thought it to be really good, and the whole basis of the movie in general, two moms putting their kids up on online dating sites to find them a partner was it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And like I said, it reminded me of the beginning of Wedding Season about how the mom was like, if you don't find someone, if you don't find someone, I'm going to, put you on online dating. Makes me wonder if that's actually something, because
should know the answer.
I don't know a ton about like I said, these this culture, but is that a thing? Do parents put their kids on online dating sites for partners?
I don't know if it's specifically online dating sites though. I mean, like I wouldn't know because I'm not single, but surprise.
Did she just make an announcement? When did this happen?
Hard lunch. We're hard lunching.
Disappearing. Oh, we see.
We're hard lunching the boyfriend today, everybody. But yeah, my parents always used to talk about like I'm always more than open to talk about how like I am very open to the arranged marriage process, and not because like I am sitting here being like I can literally never find anybody, but because the arranged married process or marriage process in America is different than like how it happens in India per se. Here it's more rather like my parents would be like, hey, when I went to college, like, you know, I had these friends who settled in like I don't know, like Michigan, and they have a son who's like close to your age. Like, would you like to talk to him? That's kind of how the Indian like arranged marriage process happens in America. Whereas typically in India, you do put your kids up to either a marriage bureau or like an actual online site, literally like Bharat Matrimony and Shadi.com, and you let the matches come in. Like it's very common. It's not even looked down upon because like that's how they believe it's like it's the job.
That's happened for many years now. That's happened like through my life.
Yeah, marriage is just completely a job there where you're like, okay, if your bio data and your resume fits the lifestyle of the other person, then like you two should be together, you know.
I have to tell Michael about one thing that used to happen on Shadi.com. And they literally, you know, there's this thing about horoscopes. So they had this entire thing about upload your horoscopes matching. So that was one service at Shadi.com. Shadi.com literally means marriage.com, SHAADI. And then there was this place where you would define the color of your skin, and it would be toast, literally all the way from burnt toast to really white bread.
Oh no.
No, seriously. So you had to choose the color of your skin based on how brown you were choosing that bread. And that was Shadi.com till, you know, people started revolting against this entire process. But in a marriage, in the arranged marriage system in India, all these things are important. The color of the skin of the girl is important. The education of the girl is important. But then what is really important is also the horoscope. If the horoscope doesn't match, you don't do that.
Exactly. And it has to be above a certain percentage. Like, for example, if you know, let's just say you were less than 50-60% compatible, you're like, okay, they're not good. Like a good match is considered 50-60% above in a horoscope. Now on the like off chance that you would meet somebody who you have either a really high or really low one with, like it depends. So if you have somebody who's like really, really high, let's say you guys are matching like 75% above, it's basically like you two are match made in heaven, like, you know, your soulmates, like you just have to, you two are just gonna have such good fortune if you get married to each other kind of thing. Now, if there's somebody you really like, and let's say your horoscope is like at 12%, there's this superstition that says if horoscopes are super, super low, like the percentage of compatibility is super low, something is going to happen to one of the partners if they get married to each other. They believe in like death, like accidental injury, like loss of job, loss of home, loss of stability, something like that. So no matter how much you like the person, if the horoscope is really, really low, you're putting yourself in harm's way, is the superstition that they believe.
And for those that don't, and for those that
online portals carried it in their algorithm.
Yeah, literally.
Well, like
they know?
Like I was saying, for those that don't know, the horoscope between Shreya and her new boyfriend Arjun Rampal was like 80%. So
he was my boyfriend. What the hell happened?
We'll
giving away my boyfriends in a 1+1 scheme. I don't like it.
She has so many boyfriends.
We'll get Mr.
I have this crush on this Taiwanese
crush list.
Canadian. My crush list. Chinese Canadian guy right now. His name is Ravi Wong. And he's hot.
He's number one on our hunk hot list for this week, guys. So if you know him, go ahead and tag him under all of our. We'll put like all of our episodes. All of our episodes are on YouTube. Which, by the way, if you don't watch them, why don't you watch them? Go ahead and like tag him. Let's see if he notices that he's on the hunk hot list.
Yes, he absolutely is. But about 7 days, I have to say that it's definitely a one-time COVID. It's a very endearing one-time watch for your list, and it's not. I mean, it's COVID cinema, so you know you get that. It's a two-hander. It's like it's set in one setting inside the rooms of that place. By the way, a trivia about this movie is that the movie was shot at Rancho Remuda. It's a 30-acre working horse property with thoroughbred horses. And this is one of the oldest ranches in Coachella Valley, built in 1902, and was once
Oh, wow.
owned by Cary Grant. And it
Oh, wow.
has been the weekend getaway for many actors like Clark Gable and Greta Garbo. And